do you guys remember any big lawsuits coming to Uber when you guys were working there? Any that you can talk about?
Oh man,
I don't know. Can we talk about it? Probably.
I probably can. It's been. I think it's 5 years is the NDA.
I remember I was like on a one-on-one with my boss, and he was my manager, and he was like, "Oh crap, we gotta go. Like, there's a security problem." And then that was like the 2016 like breach.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Some kid in Florida, like a teenager in Florida, found like an exposed S3 bucket, and he just downloaded all the data, and allegedly Uber paid cover-up money.
Yeah, paid him $100,000.
Or no, allegedly paid him a bug bounty.
Yeah, it was a bug bounty.
Right, a bug bounty payout.
Right.
For $100,000, which was an unprecedented amount of money for the bug bounty program.
I think 10,000 was the max in the program.
And I think it was 50,000. But maybe
regardless, it wasn't 100.
Yeah, it was definitely not 100. And so, with the understanding that this guy deleted the data, right? Like, oh, we'll pay you $100,000. Just make sure you deleted that data. And they also totally like extorted this kid. Like they like found out like where he lived, like all of it, doxed him fully. And they used this like crafted email to make sure they like put pressure on him to like do the thing that Uber wanted to do.
Right.
And it was just all this very sketchy, super sketchy. And it ended up in like a court, like with Joe Sullivan, like
the
having
the CISO of Uber at the time had to. Didn't you have to testify in front of Congress?
Yeah.
He had to do a bunch of stuff. He's famous now because they tried to cover this up. He served jail time. He's the first executive for a security breach to ever serve jail time.
Damn.
Yeah.
For the extortion on this.
Yeah, for the thing that Chris
kid.
and I were dealing with on our team.
Holy shit.
The thing that I could not get over is that you paid this teenager like $100,000 to delete the data, but there is absolutely no, and this is all to avoid the public release of the fact that there was a breach at Uber, which is a federal requirement when the records are above like a certain amount, like in the breach. And it totally was. It was a ton of data. And so they just didn't want to do that because Uber was all about like optics. And at the time, like branding was already a big deal because they want to dominate the world with Uber rides. And so they covered it up, or attempted to, failed to do that because I forget how they found out, how that actually came to light.
I think it was only when the new CEO, Dara, came in and
he cleaned out the closet.
He found it somehow, and Dara was like, "Oh, this is bad. Like we have to deal with this.
If we have any shot of like doing a successful IPO, like we got to make sure that this is all cleaned out." They
disclosed it and dealt with all of it, and And I think at that point, like when new CEO comes in, they're already cleaning out the whole exec team anyway. So it's a convenient reason to get rid of the CISO. But yeah, the fallout of it, I think with Joe Sullivan going to jail, I don't think anyone really knew that would happen. I don't think that Joe Sullivan was aware that he would be like setting the precedent for the future of security of like, okay, you can't get breached at massive scale, or you as an executive can go to jail for that now.
Yeah, it became a very existential like question of like who takes ownership of this problem. Like, is it the company? Is it the individuals?
Is the CISO the fall guy? Like, we don't know how responsible like Travis Kalanick was for shutting that down. Like, did Joe Sullivan keep it from TK? Did he tell TK and then TK said don't disclose it? Like, we don't know because probably that conversation happened offline. Maybe it's in some court case somewhere, but I haven't read all the docs.